hospital, and I spoke to him. And right after I hung up the phone, I got dressed, and my wife, where you going? I said, I'll be right back. I went over to the hospital to see him, and when I got there, the nurse pulled me to the side, and she said, wow, I'm so glad you came, because before you came, he was laying in the bed, he hadn't gotten up, and since you've been here, he's been smiling all day, and he's moving around, and not too long after that, he got released from the hospital, so I feel real great about that. He taught me so much. I learned a lot from him. This is my brother, and I gotta be honest, when I got the call, immediately I just started to cry, because this was a brother who meant so much to me, and this is a major loss for us as a people. If you don't know that, I just want to be the one to sit here and tell you and bear witness to the fact that this is a major loss. I never met someone with more generosity who cared about the babies, and who cared about us as a people. And I always stood tall with him. Whenever he needed me, I was there, so I don't feel bad at all. Because I know some people wait till people pass away and they want to show him love. But when he was here in the flesh, I know I did what I had to do for my brother. So my condolences to the family. He loved his daughter. That's all he spoke about on that phone with me. Whenever we got a chance to be together, rest in power, my brother, and everything I can do to carry on your legacy, I will. Peace and love.
Dr. Bilal Paulson.
Peace. So, the whole idea of citing and identifying me as Dr. Bilal, that was one of the things that Allah was so proud of, that one of his younger brothers got his doctorate, and that I'm a principal. So, the thing I want to say first to the family, again, is thank you so much for giving your father, your brother, your uncle, your grandfather to us, because we definitely got so much from him. And can't thank you enough for just being so generous with his love and his care. So, the beauty of Allah B was this. And I love hearing stories about how tough he was and how bad of a dude he was, because we heard it a lot. But the thing about Allah B that everybody knows, that he was unapologetic with his bias to children. It was always about children. So if there was an argument and it was a adult and a child, it was always the child was right, no matter what. And he didn't apologize for it. He didn't care what nobody thought. It's about the babies. If the babies say it, then thus it must be true. So that's how I was able to develop a relationship with God, because I was a young brother in the nation at NYU, working with Beloved and all those brothers and sisters in the desert with the Word newspaper. And he would bypass everybody else to talk to me because I was the youngest out the crew. And one of the things that I'll do is just take you through some chronology of the impact that he had on me and all of us. So it was around '87 that I met him, but it was 1988 when I was a freshman still at NYU, and I was doing some work within Lisa Williamson, who then became Sister Soldier. And he was at Shawanagum Correctional Facility at the time, and he really, really wanted to have the two of us come up for Black History Month. And you know, Shawanagum is a maxi-max correctional facility, and they just don't let events like that happen. But Allah B, with his power, with his love and his strength, was able to get Sister Soldier and Bilal, because some of you may know I was a dancer. So I tapped, and she dropped the bombs. And even though she was compelling and controversial, Allah B still made that happen. That was in '88. 10 years later, Beloved just mentioned it. When he came home off that bus at Port Authority, he went straight to his office right there in Times Square, And then right up the block, at the time I was working at A&R at MCA Universal, he came to my office and all he kept saying, the cars are on Broadway, the cars are on Broadway. Then, a few years after that, never forget this, you talk about, Laleen talked about how much he was a dancer. Still have this, and I hope it makes the clip on the video of Law B dancing at my wedding, 2002. I mean, he would not leave the floor. And the beauty of Law B, particularly at the time, because cold black seed, always serious, only smile for the children, always jovial for us. So for people to know that about Robbie, he's like, yeah, he loved to dance, he loved to get busy, he loved to have fun. Dispelled all that myth about him being this big bad dude, because when he came to celebrate the family, he was unapologetic. And then the other pieces were really being a part of anything that was innovative. So his work at a law school with computers, that wasn't a surprise, because again, it was working with children. The other piece was, he also was a part of developing a golf program where he would take the children to go play and learn golf, right? And then one of the other proudest moments was, again, being a part of the innovative team of developing what a law school will be. So the beauty of a Law B is that he was always about innovation, unapologetically about children, and it was always about education and advancement. And the only time that I witnessed him being angry or upset is when anything would come in the way of giving growth and development for the babies. And again, yes, Lala, honestly, outside of other children, you're the one that he spoke about most. Law B, peace.
Dr. Bernard Gassaway.
So, my name is Bernard Gassaway, and you know, when I'm sitting here listening to all the stories, the one thing that I would like to remember, or have you remember, is Law B's humility. This was a very humble brother, because there's a saying that when you're in the room, it's not important necessarily for you to be the smartest person. But I had the opportunity when I was a principal in New York City, whether it was Beach Channel High School, Boys and Girls High School, and I was also a superintendent of District 79, which was all programs and alternative schools. We would hold a meeting with principals, black principals, Hispanic, Latino brothers and sisters. And I had the good pleasure of inviting Law B, and I had the honor of his agreeing to attend. And I can tell you, particularly to his children, his grandchildren, that your father, your brother, your sister, your uncle, whatever, your grandfather, he was the most intelligent man in the room. And that's straight up, no lie. I mean, but he was humble about it. And the people there, they may think because they have all these degrees and they're being a principal, but they didn't know that they were among royalty when they were around your grandfather and your father. And so he was a very special person to me. And I don't feel any kind of way, to be honest. As I was sitting there, I noticed the bulletin, and I see this picture of Law B. And the truth is, it's a beautiful picture. But and knowing him, he was saying, "But where's Bernard?" Right? So Bernard is, you can't see me, but I'm on the other side of this picture, holding his hand as he's doing his infectious smile. And I met Law B through Beloved, and I watched Beloved go through his engineering degrees and growth, and that then inspired me to go to Columbia University, where I earned my doctorate. But while I was earning my doctorate, you know, life happens. But then I'm looking at my younger brother, Bilal, Dr. Paulson, the brother who just spoke, and then he inspired me to finish the course to finish line. So I want to acknowledge that that's really the essence of what Born was about. He was about making connections. And there's another brother who came home from prison named Malala Divine. I met Lala Divine at an event at BMCC where there was a panel of guards that was speaking about the nation of gods and earths. So I'm there, and Law B says, Bernard, get up, come and sit down. And I'm like, oh, but I was never, nation. I just talk, but I wasn't with the nation. But he made you feel welcome. He embraced you as his brother, and you felt embraced by him. And through that relationship, I met my brother Allah Shasha, who we will continue to build together. And he gave me a name. He gave me the name of education. So I took it. I embraced it. Shasha gave it. So I feel legitimate. In the short 27 years that I met this brother, I loved him, and I had an opportunity. They talk about bear witness. I had an opportunity to see him at the school, actually going around the corner, getting the babies, and seeing them like walk right, locking a step behind him. I said, "Man, this is crazy." I mean, the way it was just magic, really, just to watch it. And I also play a little role in terms of the school with the vision of trying to build that to the place, to the vision that he has. So whatever I can do in my small little way. And for his the grandchildren and you, Lala, there's a password. Now, I don't have much. I may know a few people here and there within the school system. But the password, if you ever reach out to me, my name is Bernard Gasaway, at my website is my name, right? But the password, if you ever need something, you reach out, the password is Allah B. That's it.
Peace. So the next brother to speak is Black Justice. I haven't seen him yet, but here we go.
Go ahead, man.
Peace. If everybody will close the door and focus your attention to the front, please.
Peace. In the name of Black Justice Law, it's a tough one right here. Real tough for me. There was a God who was born 93 million miles away from the sun in Mecca. We know about Allah B. Born Allah, others know him as Kobe. I'm going to speak on Allah B right now. That was my brother, that was my big brother. One of his favorite words he would say right now after I make that statement, word to the mother. That's what he would say. But I want to share a quick brief story with y'all, how I came in contact with the Purple Man. That's how black it was. And before I go any further, Lala, if you hear, I'm going to make this pledge today. I'm forever going to be there for you. And if I can't, I'll find a way to do so. This is Black Justice Law. Peace. Now, I'll continue this story real brief. I came in contact with Law B in '98. One of the guards by the name of Arif Allah called me. I was laid up, multiple gunshot wounds, shot 8 times. I was healing up. Only thing that was on my mind was war. He said, "Yo, God, you got to get out the house, man. I want you to come meet a brother." I said, "Who?" He said, "Born Allah." I said, "Yo, God, I ain't got the strength." He said, "Well, find the strength, God. Pop a pill and come on." Popped the painkiller, got up, him, beautiful life. And Big Born True, who Papoose just spoke on. Came, snatched me up, heading up to Harlem. First thing he wanted was fish. We went to Pelon at his son crib to pick him up. Second day home, touching the outside. We went to the mosque, number 7 fish spot in town. If I can recall, it was 145th at the time, 98. We walked in the store. Before we walked in the store, beautiful light turned to me and Arif. "Yo, God, watch this." We walk in the store. I'm walking slow, but I'm in motion. We walked in the store. We all placed our order at the front counter. As we placed our order, the individual who took the order walked to the back. Can't make this up, y'all. Queen Herbs. He walked to the back, he came back and said, our order would take a minute. I can't say verbatim exactly what he said. But in the process of we standing there, we all building free wisdom, just throwing wisdom around each other, bouncing it off. 4 FOIs came out. Two was standing on the left of me, the other 2 walked behind us. It was on the other side of Big Born True. Big Born True started laughing out loud. The one that was on my left turned to Law B and said, peace, Born Law. Glad to see you home. I'm stuck, like, is this for real? So, moral of that story, God, the radiant sun power that he had, and he was attracted to friends and foes. And what I loved about this brother, he always stands square. Perfect dick last time. And he spoke his mind. And at that moment, he greeted them, and we stood in the stands, combat stands. All the love.